Distinguished guests, when we dance, let us dance. When we enjoy, let us enjoy.
Alice Muwanguzi's voice is strong, bold and commanding. Here she was the mistress of ceremonies at the NRM Liberation Day celebrations in Arua district on 26th January this year.
They have also made a bus, white in color, called Kayola. That one was launched by His Excellency the President.
Muwanguzi has done this for the last 18 years. Through her teaching profession, Muwanguzi gained confidence to engage in public debates and leadership roles. But her love for entertainment bands and being in charge of big crowds enhanced this passion.
I had started earlier on at district and division level in Kampala. I think that was where my talent was identified. So, you know, anybody would feel good to be MC when the head of state is the chief guest. So that is a very, very big motivation.
When the Ministry of Gender was started in 1993, Muwanguzi was among the pioneer employees. 2 years later, the ministry started celebrating Women's Day on 8th March. Muwanguzi recalls that at the time, the emceeing role was fully dominated by men. Officials in the gender ministry observed the need to let women take charge of their own day, and that is when she got the chance to be the host at the national celebration for women.
I speak Runyoro Rutoro, so they wanted somebody who could speak English and at the same time speak the language of the area.
The office of the president took note of Muwanguzi's abilities and in 1995 sought her assistance to co-MC with Haji Abdul Nsereko, the then host of national events.
So they looked around, but then they remembered, what about that lady whom we always see on Women's Day celebrations? So they brought me in to try me out. They actually tried me out and they saw.
The NRM celebration held every 26th of January, Archbishop Janan Luwum Day on 16th February, Women's Day on 8th March, Labour Day on 1st May, 9th June, which is Heroes Day, and Independence Day on 9th October are among the national events Muwanguzi hosts.
So many women now have taken prominence in so many important levels of governance.
The duties do not come with a salary, but she regards it as an assignment from her superior.
It is one of the assignments I'm given. It is not something for paying.
Prior to the event, Muwanguzi does thorough research to find out its importance, how the theme ties into the day, and the reason why it's held in a particular district.
The profile of the district, I must know it. I must know the population. I must know how many sub-counties, what do they do as their commercial activity.
Her most memorable event is the 50 years Jubilee celebration at Kololo in 2012. And what did she find most challenging?
2016, when we had our Heroes Day in the Buyikwe, that was the time when the president had just been sworn in. That was in June. He had nominated the cabinet, but they had not yet been sworn in. So now, how do you recognize them?
emceeing is not just about holding the microphone and speaking into it. Muwanguzi shares her tips on how big events should be hosted.
You are addressing very high-level people from different countries. We have the ambassadors, the high commissioners, we have ministers. So one must stand knowing that you fit even in those categories.
Muwanguzi left the Ministry of Gender upon appointment as resident city commissioner for Kampala. She was later posted to Kumi in the same position and is now in Luweero district, where she has served for 3 years. She believes the emceeing job played a bigger part in her appointment to this political office, which she has held for 10 years.
I was appointed Deputy Director, Information and Public Relations in the Movement Secretariat before we got into the multi-party system. But I can actually admit that this one contributed a great deal because, you know, somebody sees you confident.
Her role has inspired all her children to MC at different events. She has hope that in executing this assignment, more women will be inspired to not only gain self-esteem, but also rise up to take the leadership positions which are dominated by men.